Some cities become symbols. And for decades, Youngstown, Ohio was a symbol of deindustrialization. Really, the poster child for the American Rust Belt. But that's the old story. There's a new one being written right now, a story about a massive comeback. So let's dive into Youngstown's incredible journey from a steel town to, believe it or not, a potential tech hub.
But to really get where Youngstown is going, we've got to go back. We have to understand a single day that completely changed everything for the city. A day that people there just call Black Monday.
And this number, this is its legacy, 50,000. That's how many jobs just vanished from the area in the 5 years after Black Monday. It was an economic earthquake, and the aftershocks are still felt today. See, for most of the 20th century, Youngstown's entire identity was forged in steel. The whole region's economy, its culture, everything was tied to the giant mills along the Mahoning River. And then, on September 19, 1977, it all came to a screeching halt.
What this timeline just shows so clearly is how fast it all fell apart. I mean, the steel industry took almost 80 years to build up. But the problem is, when your entire region bets its future on just one thing, you are incredibly vulnerable. So the closure of just that one plant, it was like the first domino. 5,000 jobs, gone in an instant. And then, boom, in just 5 years, the entire economic foundation of the valley was gone.
And the shadow of Black Monday is long. Even today, the city is still grappling with some really deep economic and, environmental challenges from that collapse.
Okay, this chart right here, it lays out the economic reality in really stark terms. The median household income in Youngstown is just over 33 grand. That's less than half of the median for the rest of Ohio and the U.S. as a whole. And that's not just a number on a chart, right? That's the daily reality for thousands of families.
But the comeback story here isn't just about money and jobs. It's about healing some really deep wounds. And I mean that literally. A century of heavy industry left the Mahoning River a mess. So a huge part of the city's revitalization is this massive, painstaking project of cleaning it all up.
And this is what that comeback actually looks like on the ground. It's not just one big, flashy project. It's like 1,000 small battles being fought on every front. We're talking about fixing streetlights, clearing out illegal dump sites, removing old industrial dams, and figuring out what to do with all the vacant land. It's a real ground-up effort to rebuild the city, one neighborhood at a time.
Now, when you're fighting 1,000 small battles, you need something strong to hold on to, right? An anchor? And through all these tough decades, one institution has been that anchor for the whole region, Youngstown State University.
Get this, $1 billion. That's the university's total annual economic impact on the area. It's this massive economic engine that literally helped keep the lights on, even during the absolute darkest times.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. 1 out of every 21 jobs in the entire region is somehow connected to the university. That just goes to show you YSU isn't just a school, it's a fundamental piece of the local economy.
And the impact doesn't just stop when students get their diplomas. Nope. This number, almost $857 million, that's the added income from YSU grads who decide to stay and work in the region. It shows you the powerful long-term return on investment that the university gives right back to its community.
And this is where it gets really cool, because this all points directly to the future. YSU isn't just trying to stabilize the present, it's actively building the next economy. The university is a huge partner in training the workforce for the growing electric vehicle industry, making sure local folks are ready for the jobs of tomorrow. So the big question is, how does a city famous for bending steel reinvent itself? Well, it's making a huge strategic bet on a totally new way to build things. It's pivoting from its industrial past to a high-tech future.
And the technology at the very heart of this whole plan is something called additive manufacturing, which, most of us just call 3D printing. Think of it like this. Instead of taking a big block of metal and carving a part out of it and wasting all the leftover material, you build the part from nothing, layer by microscopic layer, straight from a computer file.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. It is happening right now. GM is already using it to make tens of thousands of parts. The brand new Cadillac Celestiq is going to have over 100 3D printed components. It's a total game changer because you can make these incredibly complex designs that were just impossible before, and you do it with way less waste.
And check out the opportunity here. I mean, this is huge. The market for this technology is absolutely exploding.
It went from under $6 billion in 2016 to a projected $37 billion by 2026. That is the massive wave Youngstown is trying to catch.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually do this? How do you make it happen? Well, it's not just wishful thinking. It's a very deliberate strategy built on smart investments and some really powerful partnerships.
The crown jewel of the whole strategy is an organization called America Makes. This is basically the national headquarters for additive manufacturing innovation designated by the federal government. Having this in your city, well, that gives you a massive, sustainable competitive advantage.
And believe me, they are putting some serious money to work. America Makes just announced over $35 million in new projects to help modernize defense manufacturing and beef up the national supply chain. And a lot of that innovation is going to flow right through Youngstown. And the strategy here is really smart and really comprehensive. It's not just about one shiny new technology, it's about building an entire ecosystem. So first up, they help existing local manufacturers adopt the new tech so nobody gets left behind. Then they build up the workforce, creating a talent pipeline that starts as early as K through 12. They also help new startups get off the ground to drive commercialization. And finally, they work to attract major investment to modernize the whole supply chain. It's basically the blueprint for building a new economy from the ground up. And all of this brings us back to one big, fascinating question. After decades of rust and decay, Youngstown is betting its entire future not on bending steel, but on building with digital code and metallic powder. Can it work? It's a bold, bold second act, and believe me, the world is watching to see if the city that wants to find the Rust Belt can now define its revitalization.